What's going on, guys? Doc Danny here. I want to thank you so much for listening to the PT Entrepreneur Podcast. One of the most common questions that I get is, how did you start a practice in a gym? And because of that, I've put together a course called the Gym PT Blueprint, which shows you exactly how to start, run, and grow a successful practice in a gym. If you're a new PT, if you're a new grad, if you're a PT that's just started a practice in the gym, you're not making more than $12,000 a month yet, this course is perfect for you. It'll teach you how to set it up correctly. It'll teach you how to market yourself correctly, how to sell correctly, how to actually build a true business and not just a little side business that maybe doesn't take you anywhere and change you and your family's life long term. So if you're interested in this model of a practice, guys, head to drdannymate.com/products and you can take a look at the Gym PT Blueprint and everything that goes into it at that location. Thanks so much for listening.
So here's the question. How do physical therapists like us, who don't want to see 30 patients a day, who don't want to work home health, and have real student loans, create a career and life for ourselves that we've always dreamed about? This is the question, and this podcast is the answer. My name's Danny Mattei, and welcome to the PT Entrepreneur Podcast.
What is going on? Doc Danny here with the PT Entrepreneur Podcast, and I'm on my way to work again, so I wanted to drop a little business knowledge on the way there. So I'm headed to my Decatur office, maybe about a 10-minute commute, which is lucky for me. Some of you maybe are sitting in your car a lot longer, and if you are, that's why we have the longer interviews on Tuesday and longer topic-based things on Tuesday. So this will be a quick little nugget for you. But I had a conversation yesterday with my mentor. The guy that I really attribute a lot of what I've been able to do in business to, and that's Dr. Kelly Starrett. Which was interesting because when I talked to him on the podcast, and if you haven't listened to it yet, go back and listen to that interview with him. He said that this is the first time he's ever been interviewed about business, which I thought was kind of fascinating. He said normally people just want to know like how you're supposed to teach somebody how to squat, which is fine. I mean, we talk about that a lot in the mobility WOD courses that we teach and things, but I don't think people realize just how smart and entrepreneurial Kelly is. Like, I mean, he took out more student loans so he could start his gym, and that's a pretty cool thing, man, because you're making something out of nothing. And what I thought was really fascinating was the fact that mobility WOD, I thought that mobility WOD was this kind of planned behemoth, right? Like, they were ahead of their time. They planned that they were going to have this website, that was going to be a subscription model, and they were going to do content on, how to move better and feel better and everything that goes along with that, right? And come to find out that no, it wasn't. And it actually started as a way for Kelly to be able to, have better home exercises for his patients, as well as help educate them on some really simple stuff that was actually intended to save them some time when they came in to see him, which is kind of an interesting topic, right? Like, here it is, he's developing these videos so that he can help future patients or current patients not have to see him as much, and that's kind of maybe backwards of what maybe you guys are thinking at this point, because maybe you just need to get more patients in the door. Maybe your volume isn't quite what it needs to be. Maybe you haven't even started your clinic yet, right? But that volume is typically a problem early on. But once you get to a certain point, like Kelly was so busy with that and other things that he was trying to save himself some time, which was really interesting. So, and now Mobility WOD it's a big company, and that subscription site they have. Last time I talked to Kelly about it, there's 13,000 people that are members. I mean, it's a huge chunk of their business and their time and their assets that are resources in terms of business that go towards running and managing that. So what I want you to think about, and this kind of had me thinking about some stuff too within our own business, and what things do you do that are let's say potentially They're just a value add. They're free in some way with your patients that you could turn into something that they'd be willing to pay for. And if you're doing something that they like that's that's free, there may be other people out there that would find value in it as well, and your market's a really good place to test this stuff out. So that's what Kelly did with Mobility WOD. He found out, man, this is really taking off. People really, really like this information. This potentially could be a digital platform that I could grow and create a business out of, right? But he didn't start that way. He started as a way just to help his patients. So think of it this way. So what if you do things like, one thing recently that we've thought about is we get a lot of questions about programming. And one of the things that we'll do is we'll refer people that are interested in programming, like custom programming. So what do you do each month from a training standpoint, right? And we'll typically refer them to a group that does a lot of that. One group that I like a lot is called Training Think Tank. They're based out of Alpharetta here in Atlanta, and they work with a lot of competitive CrossFit athletes. And I've sent quite a few clients of mine their way to do their programming. But as we look at it, our skill set, and if your skill set is similar, our skill set for the providers that we have, we're all coaches and we all are physical therapists as well. So we have this inherent understanding of programming and how to set up a program for somebody. There's just a lot of back-end work that goes into that. But this is something that we kind of already do for our patients as they're hitting the tail end of their rehab process with us. I mean, along the way, it kind of looks a lot like a strength and conditioning program anyway. But towards the end, we start to really accumulate a lot of exercises that we have them doing, and it starts to turn into this like small custom program basically that they're doing, and they love it. They're just like, man, this is such a better organized way for me to work out and to train. And it's something that we just had a conversation about, me and our other PTs about this just the other day. And is it something potentially that we want to add to what we offer people? Maybe so. Like we have to look at the logistics of everything that's involved in that and developing something that's much more that we can replicate easier than what we're doing now, which is essentially just like 100% custom for everybody. Like there's definitely going to be program patterns that we'll see and we'll have to template out, but that's a value add that we have for our patients, and it's also potentially a great way for us to continue to work with them on a monthly basis by doing something that they're already asking us questions about, which is, hey, what should I do at the gym? And if they're not going to a CrossFit gym, they're not working with a trainer or some sort of group training, many people just don't know. And I think we take our skill set, our knowledge for granted in some cases when we look at, hey, this is how you structure a training day or a workout or whatever you want to look at that week or that month. And also, it's also something that you can do remotely, right? So now instead of in the office one-on-one, it gives our providers or yourself, if you look at something like this too, the potential to really be able to leverage your skill set when you're not necessarily at the office, which is a good thing because it's now another revenue stream. So we're creating another revenue stream for providers. So this is eventually probably going to be something that we'll look at doing, but you have to start by seeing what your patients are interested in first. For some of you, it might be nutrition consulting, right? You may get certain people that they come in and you start talking to them about Whole30 approach or looking at counting their macros or whatever it is that they're interested in, and they ask you a bunch of questions and they're asking for referral to a dietitian or something, and you may have somebody that's really awesome that you want to refer people to, but you may also really enjoy nutrition and you may have a skill set in that as well, and now all of a sudden you can provide custom nutrition program or custom nutrition coaching for that person who is no longer having back pain, but the real reason they're in your office is because they want to drop some weight anyway, and they feel unhealthy, and they just don't feel good about their own body image right now. And so now you have an opportunity to help them achieve their actual goal with another variation of information and service that you're offering to them, and improve the actual revenue that you can generate as well. So look at these things, ask yourself, hey, are there any value add kind of opportunities that I have here that patients already respond really well to, that could potentially be another revenue stream? And this is really important, is it something that you enjoy doing, right? Because we all go into business because we want to enjoy our work more, and we want to find a lot of just personal reward as well, not just financial reward in what we do. So if you find something and you're like, man, I can make a lot of money off this, but I don't like doing it, that maybe isn't the best place for you to try to spend your time early on. And you got to find those things that you're going to be really excited about, and that it's going to show whenever people want to work with you, right? So, make sure you guys think about that. Don't just chase the money. That's a terrible idea. So guys, take a look at that. Think about some potential business add-ons that you could do. The programming, nutrition stuff, those are all pretty complementary to what we do. And think about, is this something that my patients would pay for? And if so, what would they pay for it? And then do a little bit of research and see what other people are charging, see what you think your market can afford and satisfy, what they're willing to do, and think outside the box, guys, because we have that opportunity now. There's more availability for us to work remotely with people, to add things on, for us to use our skill set in many different ways. And it doesn't always just have to be, the one-on-one patient experience, even though I think that's really important. There's other opportunities out there. So think about that. Thanks for listening today, guys. And don't forget, take a look at the PT Entrepreneur Podcast website, which is at drdannymatei.com. I've been busting my butt on this course. It's called the Gym PT Blueprint, which is all about how to start, run, and grow a successful cash PT practice in a gym, or if you're interested in working with an athletic population, how to be successful in that niche, which is what we did here with Athletes Potential, and we continue to do to this day. So guys, that is a huge course that took me quite a while to put together, and I did this as a course that I wish I would have had when I was starting out myself. There was just very little information out there, and a lot of it you had to learn the hard way, the expensive way in many cases. And so this is a soup to nuts blueprint of how you do that, how you do a successful clinic, and how to actually become financially independent by opening a clinic like this as well. So take a look at that, the Gym PT Blueprint, at drdannymatei.com for more information, and look out for emails as well. If you're not on our list, you can go sign up at Dr. Dan Matei as well.